Welcome to our 2023 Grand Surveyor 267 Rbss. Starting right in your back bumper here, if you just pull that cap on out of there, inside of the back bumper you're going to find your sewer hose. Take note of those two ears and the adapter here, it's how I'll be hooking it up to your sewer system, and the hose itself, once fully extended, is about 20 feet long. Just keeping it stored in the bumper back here to help keep any sort of stench out of the unit, keep things a bit fresher. Cap just presses back into place. Right around the corner from there, you're going to find your short cord inlet. Pops on open, you get that little notch in the bottom corner there. It's going to line up with this notch here. Press those in together, little A's turn to lock it down, then you get the threaded collar in the back there to properly lock it into place. Following the cord back, you're going to find a standard 30 amp end there. Most campsites will have that for you. You can just plug straight on in and you're good to go. We do also provide you with a 15 amp adapter, so if you're looking to plug in at home to charge your batteries or run your fridge, you got the power to do so. Kind of right up from there, marked by that sticker, you've got your low point drains. So just kind of right by your stabilizers back here, you get that little valve. Open that up, allows your water system to drain itself out. You get your hot and cold line there, of course. Purpose of that would just be if you're leaving the unit for a while, you don't want your water going stale or stagnant. Or if you're getting ready to winterize the unit, you can just dump it all out before you do so. Cable and satellite inlet there, coax cable plugs in, fires up at your TV location, simple as that. In the center is a black tank flush, so you may notice over time after having gone and dumped your black tank, your monitor panel is still reading 1/3 or 2/3, whatever it may be. Typically it's just some debris inside of the tank hanging between the probes. So what you can do is take your water hose, plug it into there, open up the black valve that I'll show you in a second here, turn on the water, and that'll just flush out that tank for you, getting rid of any sort of debris that could be causing that issue. Tanks themselves are straight down underneath there, so you'll find your sewer cap right there. You're just going to kind of press on that, give it a turn, it'll pop on out. See, it's got the same ears on it that your sewer hose had, attaches the same way, just pressing it in, turning it until it's locked. On the left you get a gray valve, on the right you get a black. Black valve is controlling that black tank, and your black tank is filling your toilet. Of course, it's going to be your dirtiest water, so we want to dump that first. Once that's done, you can then come to the gray. Gray tank is going to be filled from your sinks as well as your shower. Typically cleaner water, we'll dump that last to help keep that sewer hose as clean as possible. Then back up again on the far left there, you get your city water connection. Water hose plugs into there, turn on the water, and that'll pressurize the lines throughout the unit. Making our way towards the front, we're going to find your galley outlet. So that sticker there, right underneath it, you get the same sort of sewer system here. Just taking that cap off, get your gray valve in the front. This tank is going to be dedicated to your kitchen sink. And then your freshwater drain is that sticker there, right underneath. You get the same sort of valve that you had for your low point drains. You just open it up, allows it to drain itself out. Once you're done, just locking it back off. Filling up that tank is just right here. Take that cap, unscrew it, water hose will plug into there, turn on the water, and that fills up your tank. You know that tank is full once it starts spitting water out of that vent there, or by just watching your monitor panel inside. Hot water tank here, you're going to take that keyway, line it up, and you can pop it on open. All your controls for turning this guy on are just inside the unit. Before we do that though, with either source, you just want to hit this relief valve here. Make sure a little bit of water coming out of there. If you're not getting any water coming out of there, there is a chance that it's empty and you do run the risk of burning it out. So you just want to make sure it's full before firing it up. Once you're done, just lock it with the keyway. Storage compartments here, just has a magnetic latch, holds it open for you. Inside of here, you'll find your water hose. Inside of the water hose, you're going to find your park adapter. So your 30 amp cord into there, 15 to a standard outlet. This little panel right here just has a little screw in each corner. If you were to pop those out, you get access to your hot water tank as well as your water pump. So if you're looking to winterize the unit yourself once it comes time, it's just all right back there. And around to the front of the unit, this little black box with the red light is a tire pressure monitor sender. You'll have a little handheld unit that will sit inside of your tow vehicle with you that kind of just lets you monitor your tire pressures in the RV here. Battery cutoff switch is right in the center there, so with it pointed up, that's it of course turned on. Off to the side there is it turned off, and if you turn it all the way, you can pop it right out and just kind of prevent that sort of any accidental draw. Once you're done, just turn it back in all the way. Battery itself is housed inside of this box right here. As long as you're plugged into that short cord in the back or your 7-pin to your tow vehicle, that battery will be charging for you. The unit is also prepped with solar, so if you're out in the sun, it should be charging for you as well. These two little knobs there, if you loosen them off and push them back, you get access to your propane tanks. The video, I'll pull this right off, and we can show you that changeover in the back here. So it's currently red and pointing off to this tank, so it's letting us know we've got no propane and we're running on this tank. As we open this up, you'll see it go green, just letting us know we've now got propane in there. If it were to go red while you got that tank open, it's just letting you know it's empty now. At that point, just close it off, flip the change over to the other side, run off of this tank while you get that one filled. In front's a power tongue jack, so up top there you get your light switch, and then on the bottom, up is up, down is down. Other end of the unit here, you're going to find your stabilizer jack switch. So they are fully electric. You're just pressing, holding, extend to make their way down. Now these are not going to level the unit, they're just going to stabilize it. So you want to make sure that when you get into your campground, you're getting your unit as close to level as possible. And then you'll use these to stabilize. So once they're down all the way, we'll kind of hear that load on the motor. Once we hear that, we're going to let go of the switch. Just like that. Now, if you're to try to lift the unit with these motors, you can actually strip the gear pack right out of them, which of course you don't want to be doing. Once you're done, you're just pressing and holding retract all the way until it sucks all the way up, and they'll turn themselves off. Storage compartment here, same sort of magnetic latch, just holds it open for you. Inside of here, you're also going to find a motion sensing light. So on the bottom here, you can just kind of see the markings on the switch there. You got a 2 on the left and a 1 on the right. So 2 is going to be a dual function, where it'll have the motion sensor that'll turn it on and off. 1 is going to just be on. So 1 on and on is on. And over to the left there, it'll turn itself off after I think 30 seconds of no motion, and it'll turn itself on once it picks up motion again. This one big override jack here is going to be for your stabilizers. This guy here would be a manual override for the other style of stabilizer, as with this piece up here. And this silver one would be your manual override for your tongue jack up front. Then in the back here, you can see you get your exterior stove, your exterior kitchen setup. There's also that little green bag back there, has all of your interior central vac stuff. So for this outside kitchen, we're going to open up this panel here. Again, you get that magnetic latch. In here, you'll find a 120 volt fridge. As long as you're plugged in, this guy's going for you. Inside of the fridge, you'll find a water hose. We'll pull that out. And your spray port here just pops on open. You get a little ear there, kind of at the 2 sides. You're going to line them up top and center, top and bottom, sorry. Press them in, little 1/8 turn to lock it in. And then that's this hose then tied into your cold water system. No hot water out of it, just cold. Once you're done, just pressing it in, give it that 1/8 turn, it'll undo itself. When you want to stretch it out, just make sure you blow out or drain out any sort of water that's in there, just because you don't want to be storing it. Then we're just going to tuck it back away. This bottom piece here just slides on out. Then the inside will slide off to the side, and you can pop this on open. And then we'll grab our griddle here. So just take note of those 4 holes on the base there. You've got the one small one in the top right corner. That's going to line up with the foot in the back corner here. So you just unscrew that foot. Line up the other 3 feet with their big holes. And then from underneath, you can run that foot up through and just kind of locks it into place. Okay. Then the sink there just kind of flops into place. There's no drain on it, so you're just kind of pulling it out, dumping it whenever you're done. And then for the hose here, you have this quick connect kind of safety, so you just want to undo that valve, then you can undo the quick connect, drop the hose down the back, pull that collar back, press it onto the stove, and let it lock into place. Then we can open up that valve there. And then right underneath the unit, we get another quick connect. So same sort of style down here, we have that valve off to the side. Right, then you're going to push that collar back, insert your hose, get it locked into place, open up that valve. Then we can come up to the stove here. You're just going to press that knob in, and just kind of rapidly turning it past the light. And there it goes. Once you're done, just turning it back off, letting it cool down, and then storing it back away. Basically the same thing, but reverse. Exhaust for your furnace here, so if you're ever running your furnace, you just make sure it's not blocked off. It does get hot. Straight up from there, you're going to find your interior stove vent. So of course, propane stove is putting off fumes, so you want to make sure that your fan inside is turned on to evacuate those fumes. Then you get that flap there that you'd open up to let them out. Porch light, then your 2 exterior speakers out here as well. Down underneath them, you get a GFI protected outlet, as well as a cable and satellite outlet. So if you're looking to have TV outside, you got the power to do so. And then right to the back of the unit, you get the little ladder there, so you can get up top, check all your seals, as well as the storage rack with your spare tire. Straight up the top and center, you get your rear view camera, or pre-wired mount for one at least. And then lastly, just in the bottom right corner here is going to be your rear stabilizer jack switch. So making our way inside of the unit now, your assist handle just up 90 degrees and it falls into place, and you can open up your door. The door's on a friction hinge, so it just kind of sits where you leave it. The steps there, you're going to pull that blue handle in towards the center, then you can bring them down. These little tabs, if you push them in, you can extend or retract your legs just based on your campsite needs. As you come inside, first things first, right on the left there, you get your fire extinguisher. That's standard. Pull the pin, point, and shoot. Straight up from the wall from there, you're going to find your solar charge controller. So this is all set up, ready to go. Basically just using it as a monitor to see what your batteries are currently at. So you can see we're currently at 13.5 right now. We've got a good charging voltage just because they're plugged in. You hit amperage, you can see the rate that you're charging at. So this would be the rate that your solar panels are sending it to the battery. Of course, inside, so we got no rate right now. Okay. Beyond that, pretty well fully automatic. Interior light switch on the far right there, turn that on, does all your interior lights. Porch light center right there does the amber light outside. Awning LED right in the center does the LED strip for your awning. Awning's on the far left there. You're going to press and hold extend, and that awning will make its way out. Once that awning's fully extended, we're going to see a little black flap come down, as well as the black of the metal tube. Once you see that, you're going to stop. If you're to continue extending, it can actually wind itself up backwards, in which case your fabric would be underneath the tube, allowing it to hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. Alright, so the flap's just a little bit sticky today, so we're going to come back in a bit. That'll undo it. We can go back out, and there's the tube, so we'll stop right there. Now, if it were to start raining, it's of course going to be holding some water anyways. So what you can do is grab either arm, front, or rear. You're just going to pull straight down on it. Right, then you can see that changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. I feel like that angle better because it does give you more shade. You can do the same thing with the arm up front. Before you bring it back in though, you just want to make sure these arms are back out straight and fully extended, just so you're not running the risk of bending them. Then you can press and hold the track, and the awning will make its way back in. Again, you're just watching to make sure that your fabric stays over top of the tube. And the last thing to keep in mind with your awning is it does catch a lot of wind. So once you get up to about 15-20 kilometers an hour wind, you want to bring it back in, again, just so you're not running the risk of bending your arms. Slide out switch is right beside that. Press and hold the bottom of that switch and your slide will make its way out. Once that slides out all the way, we'll just hear some clicks in the motors letting us know they've reached their stall. All right. Then as we come inside, straight off to the right side here, you get your entertainment area. So you have your TV mounted right up top. On the side here, you do have your antenna outlet. Turning that antenna on is just a little button right beside it there. Just turns that little green light on and off. Power outlet for it above, straight up above it. Stereo here, pretty straightforward. Power button is going to turn it on. Select, you can get through all your settings. Select through all your settings. Mode through all your inlets. Volume controls on the right side. Zone 1 is the sound bar itself. Zone 2 is your outside set of speakers. A little bit of storage underneath it. And then underneath all that, you get your fireplace. Touch controls all along the bottom there. Just press them and they fire right up. Power button there turns it back off. And right around the corner from there, you get your fridge. This fridge is fully 12 volt. As long as your batteries are charged or charging, this guy's going for you. Freezer up top, fridge down low. Under that's your converter. Press the top and center, it'll pop on open. You get all of your breakers in the center here. Whenever a breaker breaks, it sits in the middle. So just turn it off and then back on to reset it. All of your fuses on the right side. Whenever a fuse pops, you get a little red LED right beside it, letting you know exactly which one went. Little furnace outlet right beside it. And then the furnace itself is just right here, so you just want to make sure that grate there isn't blocked off. Microwave straight up top from there. Right, little cup of water, we know it works. Stove vent, so you got your fan here as well as a light. This is that fan that you want turned on with that flap outside opened up so you evacuate any fumes from the stove. For the stove itself, it just flips on open. Get your igniters right in the front there. Simple as that. Once you're done, just turning them all off, letting it cool down, and then closing the cover. The knob on the far right is for the oven. You're gonna press that in over that little pilot light, and then you can hit that igniter a couple of times and it gets going. Once you have it going, you just hold the knob in for another couple seconds, then you can release and the flame will hold itself. Turn up to your desired temperature and she fires right up. Once you're done, turn it back down to pilot, but if you're going traveling or leaving the unit, you just want to make sure it's right off. Then on the right side there, you get that switch, does your knobs or the knobs and the oven. Storage space right up top here. Inside of there, you're going to find that binder. That binder's got all of your owner's manuals, any remotes, any keys, anything like that, you're going to find right in there. Above the counter is a little light, right? Also right above the sink. The sink there has got the shower head feature, hot and cold water course, and just the one sink cover. More storage up above. GFI protected outlets right behind it. Storage down low, as well as all of your door space here. Right? So that's your tire pressure monitor sender or your receiver that you would have up in the truck with you. These would just be the legs for the TV there if you were to choose to pull it out and have it kind of standing anywhere. And of course the remote for it. And just other open drawer space. Central backside underneath it. Slide that guy over. Your hoses will attach into there. Power button's on the left side. To change your bag, just slide that over towards the center. The bag's just hidden right in there. And then right down underneath it is just kind of what they call a dust pan eliminator. It allows you to kind of sweep up any sort of dust over here. If you flip that open, it sucks it up for you. Thermostat's up on the wall here. Press that bottom bar to wake it up. Hit it again, it'll come into fan low. So that's going to run your air conditioning fan just on low to move some air around. Fan high, same idea, but now we're using the high fan. Cool high is where it'll actually use the air compressor and actually start giving you cooling. This will leave the high fan on all the time though. Cool low high, same idea. It's going to use the compressor now, but that low fan is going to be on all the time. Cool low auto is where it becomes an on-demand system where both the compressor and the fan will come in and out as needed to give you your cooling. Cool high auto, same idea, but now we're using the high fan. Temp selection at any point, just with your arrows here. You got two different options with your air conditioner. You can have these two louvers here closed, in which case we'll be using all of our ceiling ducting to move the air, or you can open them up and it just dumps all of its air into the living room here. So when you first get out to your campsite, you want those open, cool off this air as quickly as possible, then you can close them off, start moving the air throughout. After cool high auto, if you hit that bar again, it'll come down into heat. It'll turn off the air conditioner and turn on your furnace. And like I pointed out earlier, your furnace will be moving its air through all your little portals. And then after heat, if you hit that bar again, it just comes down into off and then just turns everything off. Switch down below, it's for your front bedroom. As you come up into here, you're gonna find your emergency exit on the left side. All right, so you're just taking this red handle there to get rid of the screen. Take that handle, throw it outside, hop on out. Closet space on both sides is identical. You get the little storage cubby up top, a little hanger in the center there, and then the two drawer spaces. USB charging as well as a power outlet underneath it. If you pick up the foot of your bed, you do get access to a little storage compartment there. And then up in the head of the bed, there's a couple little reading lights. And then right up in the front, you get a little cup holder. These guys are also removable, so you have kind of a hidden storage underneath it as well. Open storage up top, and then just the open cubby spaces at the end here again. Same outlets down low. TV backers up in the wall here, power outlet for it, as well as your cable and satellite outlets. And then through the slide, you can see the dinette is currently set up as your dinette. If you were to take your tabletop here, wiggle it up and out of its legs, the legs will then wiggle out of their bases. There's 4 little black blocks that the table will then sit onto. You'll take your back cushions to fill in the middle, and that'll create your bed. Dinette light, it's got its own little push button there. And then above your recliners here, push buttons and open storage up top. To recline these guys, I believe there is a little pull tab right in the side there. Just pull that up, kicks the feet out for you. And this guy here folds down. You get your cup holders out of it as well. Blinds throughout the unit, you just kind of pull them down. They sit where you leave them. Once you're done, just snap them. They run up automatically. And then into the bathroom, your light switch is over on the left side there. Beside that, you've got all of your heated holding tank switches. So basically just a little stick-on pad to the bottom of your tanks, just prevents them from freezing once you get down into cold weather. Monitor panels on the right side, water pump switch in the bottom right corner there. You turn that switch on, turns on your water pump, drawing out of your fresh tank to pressurize your lines. Water heater on electricity is right in the center there. Water heater on gas is right in the left. So as you turn that switch on, it'll start to fire up. If this fault light there were to come on, it's just letting you know it hasn't fired up. At that point, just off, back on to reset it. Monitor system's right up above all that. So you have your battery on the bottom there. You can see we're currently battery charged, so that's good. As it goes down, it'll go to good, better than low. Your fresh tank, as you fill that up, will go to 1/3, 2/3, and full. Same idea for your black, your gray 1, and your gray 2. Gray 1 is going to be your bathroom, I believe. Gray 2 is going to be your kitchen sink. Medicine cabinet here just flips on open. There is a little travel latch on the side there. Just sits into this little tongue, prevents it from flying open while you're going down the highway. Hot and cold water at the sink, of course. Bit of storage down below it. There's also some storage in the back corner here. As you open this up in the bottom, you're going to find a toilet paper dispenser has been installed in there as well. Right. Toilet just flips on open. You can get your flusher on the right side there. More open storage right beside it. And then into the shower, you just get your sliding curtain there. Hot and cold water course, and the standard headed hose. Right. So that's about it for this unit. If you've got any other questions on it, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.